My name is Seth Shapiro. I'm a digital media consultant. I'm also a professor at the University of Southern California and a governor at the Television Academy, which are the people who give out the Emmy Awards. Yeah, I was head of interactive production at DirecTV, which is the big satellite distributor in the United States, and so I won an Emmy for designing their highlights on demand service and interactive services with the NFL, American football. So that was the first one, and then I won another one for the launch of the TiVo service, the first major DVR, also with DirecTV. The really interesting thing about TV as a medium is that it's sort of a process. If you think about the way that television has moved historically, at first it was this broadcast network where a series of broadcast networks where there were very few options. Then it moved to the model now where there's literally hundreds of networks. And in the future, television will still exist, but the main things that will change will be A, you won't get it from a TV necessarily, and B, it will become a two-way communication process. So you'll have the artist formerly known as television. The content will look in many ways similar, but it will continue to expand, and so social media and tablets and the video content will all commingle and create a much richer experience around video. So it'll be sort of television plus. It will be the best aspects of television as it is, social media, and online experience. Well, it's funny because if you like watch little kids now who grow up with iPads, they'll actually go up to the TV set and they'll go like this because they don't get that, like, you know, or they'll say things like, why is the TV broken? Because they can't rewind it. Like if they're used to having a DVR like you're talking about where you can rewind, kids, they have no idea that you have to be there, that you ever had to be there at 9 p.m. That world is gone. You know? Facebook and YouTube will both get bigger and bigger. So Facebook will announce in the near future a new kind of video offering. So they will become, they will definitely enter the video space, and they'll leverage the social graph, the sort of combination of your friends' networks, to create a recommendation that'll have people discovering video and TV content through Facebook. YouTube will just get bigger. What they'll try to do increasingly is to figure out, now that they've got all of these network and content offerings, how to monetize them more fully, because even though there are massive views on YouTube, relative to television business, the money is still really, really small. And so the challenge is to take all of those billions and billions of YouTube views and turn them into something that more and more people can actually make a living from. Here's what I think. I think that in the future, you will get to a certain age. So cloud storage is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Cameras are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I think in the future, there'll be a certain age where you start wearing your camera and it's on, and your life is recorded. So if you and I had a conversation 10 years ago and we're disagreeing about it, what we actually talked about it, we just rewind the tape and we go back. And think about that, how that changes life. I think it's kind of inevitable. I don't know when it will happen, but I think inevitably people's lives get recorded. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll take 20 years. I mean, it's still a really niche product. So the way that like new technology happens is sometimes it's like flipping a switch and it comes out. And iPhone was a technology that was adopted relatively quickly. There are several technologies. Google Glasses is one of them, where it's going to be a long haul. I think what we're seeing is the first iteration of something that is there'll be generation after generation after generation, and at some point there's going to be some killer app where people go, oh, I really want it for that. The cost of the product will come down, and then it will become ubiquitous. But I think that'll take a while. Another project that's sort of similar in a way is, you know, the self-driving car. You know, it's a great idea and it will happen, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to take a long time for the adaptation to take place. Not every day, every minute, but I use Facebook multiple times a day. In different ways. So one thing that I do is when I'm traveling, I'm on the road a lot, I always say I'm here because what happens is somebody says, hey, I'm here, let's get together. So I wind up, it changes my life in the sense that I sort of have all these sort of serendipitous things that happen that would never happen because other than social media, or I meet friends of friends that become friends of mine through social. So yeah, I'm a big Facebook user because it creates I think it reduces the friction of everyday life. It sort of expands your circle of relationships potentially without having to like go out and network all the time. You know, you can do it remotely. So I think that's good. But mainly Facebook. I don't use. I don't. Yeah, sometimes, but not a ton. So, like, because of the business that I'm in, it's a bit of a, you know, there's a marketing aspect to it because I meet clients through social media and I do work in social media. But I mean, I think that notion of like living different lives in real life from online, I think that it's kind of a slippery slope. I think like there's something inauthentic about it that I think you kind of can smell it when people do it. It's sort of like when people post pictures of themselves from 10 years ago. Like then you meet them and like, who are you? Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you thinking? You know. So I think it's best to be pretty much who you are.